Hey friends, and welcome back to Happy Heart Gardens. It is fall here in South Alabama, and that means it is time for peanut harvest. Best time of the year. So I actually did not even plant peanuts this year, but I grew them in this bed last year, and I clearly didn't get them completely harvested because when I pulled my potatoes in May, I had tons of volunteer peanuts all ready to go in that same bed. So now it is time to harvest them. So peanuts do take a while to grow. They take about 4 to 5 months of really warm weather. They don't like any cold, but you can grow them in lots of different climates. You may just need to start them inside and then plant the plants out as opposed to direct sowing the peanut seeds. So let's go ahead and look at the plants. So here is the volunteer peanut bed. It's hard to believe, you can't even see it. It's really overgrown. This is a 4x4 bed, and peanuts do need, I wouldn't say a ton of space, but they do like space. You'll get a lot more if you give them space. And I have other videos about how peanuts grow, but essentially you plant the seed, you know, the little peanut or the plant, and then it's going to grow up and then come out. So you like to give about 2 feet around diameter per plant because it wants to just spread out a little bit to form those flowers, which of course then form the peanuts. And it's really fascinating. They'll be really shallow in the ground. I have a lot of weeds here, so don't mind that. But you can see here, it doesn't, let me pull these back. You don't have to pull very much, and there's your peanuts. Isn't that wild? So this guy's probably not quite ready yet, but overall I think we are about ready. It's been time. Like I said, they take about 4 or 5 months, and since I didn't plant these, I'm kind of just guessing on the time just based on when the plants appeared. Oh my gosh, these darn weeds. But I see it's definitely time to pull these guys up and see how much we got. They are super thick in here, and I would have had even more. You can see they're coming off the side here, and wanted to peg even more. So what happens is the plants grow. I'll just do a quick overview in case you missed my last video. They form a flower, which I don't have any flowering right now because it's been a while, and then that flower forms this peg, and it'll have a pointy end. Let me see if I can find one with a pointy end. Here you go. See that? And that's essentially the little peanut, future peanut. Here you can see it starting to form. And that will just peg down into the ground and form your peanut. Isn't that wild? Super fun. So let's go ahead and get these all pulled up and see how many we got. Not only are peanuts just really fun to grow at home, but they're also really sustainable. So once you plant them, that's really it. You don't have to worry about them until harvest time. They're a legume, so they don't require any additional fertilizer. They also are very drought tolerant, so they can take periods of not watering or no rain, that type of thing. And they're really just super low maintenance. I don't really have a ton of insect pest pressure. The only thing you may have to worry about when first planting or once it kind of gets close to harvest time is squirrels. I just pulled up the first plant, and you can see we still have quite a few that aren't mature yet. And I would like to see more than half of the plant fully mature. So I actually may leave these guys in for a few more weeks to see if we can get full maturity. I'm going to dig up one more plant, and really when I say dig, you really just have to pull them. They come up super easy, but I talked about them being legumes. Check out all of these nitrogen nodules. Isn't that awesome? You can go ahead and turn that back into the soil, and that will help build up your nitrogen and your biomass. Now I mentioned they don't really have pests, which is true as far as it comes to like eating the plants, but I had trouble with ants, and slugs and stuff in this bed before when I had peanuts, and clearly there's still a problem. So I'm not sure how the rest of the crop's gonna be here. Okay, I've gone ahead and pulled 3 plants, and it's not looking as great as I would like it to. Now, the plants will keep growing given the right conditions. So it's normal to have like some little, what I call baby peanuts, but there's still quite a few on these plants. And since I didn't plant these were volunteers, my timing is kind of off. Like normally I would just count the days back from when I planted. But just seeing how these look with so many undeveloped ones, I'm gonna leave them in for a few more weeks. I mean, there are some big ones you'll always have, like these were the first ones to form. So there are some nice sized ones here, which are great, but I think I'll have just a better harvest overall if I give it just a little bit more time. So sorry that wasn't exciting as I thought it was going to be. When you're growing things underground, you just never know what's going to happen, right? So be sure to give this a subscribe so that way you can see the final harvest, and I'll show you what I do after harvest to preserve them. But thanks so much for being here, friends, and happy growing.